Okay, so here's the idea. Space trash. What do I mean by this? I mean that we just take our trash and we shoot it into the very deepest possible space. Off the planet, out of the solar system, hopefully away from the galaxy. And why would we do this? Well, it's a way to get rid of the trash. We don't need to bury it anywhere special on Earth, and we would, of course, only do this with the trash that is more expensive to recycle than to get rid of. There are so many issues with storing trash in certain locations on Earth that eventually the external factors incurring prices and costs on storing that trash will get high enough that it will actually become feasible, I think, in the future at some point to just launch the trash into space than to do anything else with it. Yeah, so that's my prediction. I think that there's probably an interesting argument to have about this, other than just is it feasible, is it cost effective? Some people might think of it as inherently immoral because we're trashing the rest of the universe, essentially. Obviously, this might depend a little bit on where exactly the trash is being sent. If we're just launching it into the sun or something, there could be negative side effects to that we don't know of. So it might be risky to do something like that. But if we were able to safely eject it essentially into the void, into some deep part of space that it would be known not to have any interactions with any sort of celestial bodies that we could ever possibly interact with in 100 million years and could possibly interact with us in that period of time, then is it so wrong? Would there be anything wrong with that? So, in the end, there's sort of these three parts that are important. There's the first part, which is the price. So, when does it become feasible? And given those conditions, is it reasonable to predict that this will actually happen at any point in the near future? The second point is what are the possible options for going along with this plan of ejecting into space, where to eject it, and using what sort of methods, and also with what sort of certainty that these methods would work. So perhaps there's a side effect of what the negative consequences could be in the case of a failure. And then finally, what is the reasons for and against launching our space trash into or our trash into space? Is it immoral to trash the universe? Or is it fine since, there's nothing else out there to really matter? And if we can show that it isn't going to have any side effects on us, then why not? So I think it's kind of an interesting consideration. And that's my thoughts for now. I'm sure I'll maybe write something about this later or come up with some more thoughts, but this is just sort of a prompt.